to me, I must have been showing some trustworthiness. I must have been showing some faithfulness because they came to me to talk to me and trusted me, and I did not let them down. Let's see here. Gentleness, humility, meekness, tenderness. Wow. Humility, meekness, tenderness. I have to have some humility in my life because I know I never had any humility in my life. I was humiliated, but I was never really humble, you know. I was humble at times when I wanted to get something. Remember I said when I had an ulterior motive and I wanted to manipulate? Yeah, I would be meek. You know, I would be meek. I'd be tender. But I didn't know how to be tender because I was very aggressive. Sometimes still aggressive. Sometimes. You know, just because I say I used to be doesn't mean it left me. I just have more self-control. Remember I was talking about earlier? You know, in my humility, I try to stay focused on what I need to do all the time, you know, and stay humble with it. Even if it isn't good or it doesn't work out the way I want it to work out, I'll be humble and just accept things the way they are. Self-control, mastery over desires. I told you a little bit ago, I never had any self-control. Well, I did, you know, as I said before, when I wanted to manipulate, when I had an ulterior motive, I had some self-control. Don't say nothing yet, because if I say something, they're not going to get that to me. But now, I'm reliable. I'm faithful. I'm trustworthy. I'm patient. And I try to live out a spiritual life. And I try to find a way to keep my mouth shut. Know when I need to speak. Know when I need to just be patient and allow myself to listen to other people. Because they might be telling me something that I need to hear, that I need to work on. If I'm trying to change, then God works through people. And they might use people to tell me some things. I need to listen so I can have some more self-control. I don't need to be angry and jump and speak arrogantly at the jump of a hat just because you said something I didn't like. Just because you did something that I didn't think went well, whether it was about me or anyone else, you know, because I tend to speak up for those that people seem to be taken advantage of because they did that to me. I don't want them to do that to them. No, this is the love I have in my heart, you know, but I still have to have some control because these days I can speak up, man. Y'all be read my obituary. The fruits of the Spirit are cultivated by what we call the Spirit within us and not achieved solely through human effort. See, remember I said, this is about the Holy Spirit that's within me. That's what I call it. I don't know what you call it, but I call it the Holy Spirit. You know, there's another name for that, you know, excuse me, there's another name for that called Ruach HaKodesh, you know, but I don't know what you call it. But for the, you know, as I mentioned in the one video, I said for the lack of a better word, was the Holy Spirit. Of course, everybody doesn't relate to it like that, but I do. I just want you to know that, you know. So, with these fruits, as we live them, keeps us from doing wrong. Keeps us from doing the wrong things, doing the wrong things from our own selves and others. It's like evidence of a power greater than ourselves. See, we all have a God, you know, and sometimes people are so into their God that they want me to be into their God the way they're into their God. But there's so many people that are into gods that isn't the way another person believes. You know, I understand that in different parts of the world, we believe different things. You know, here in this Western world, we talk about Jesus. You know, we talk about Jehovah. You know, and we believe this strongly, and we believe all the readings and the writings in the Bible. But somebody over in the Arab communities, over in that Eastern world, they might believe in Allah. You see what I'm saying? And because we might believe in Jesus and in the Bible, we don't think that anything they say ain't right. But who's to say that they're not right? Say, they believe strongly just like we believe strongly. We just grew up in different areas coming up with a religious belief brought to us. It was taught to us. This is what they believe strongly. This is what we believe strongly. So why are we judging? Oh, they're wrong. They're going to go to hell. Maybe they feel the same way about us. Say, I solely believe in not throwing things down people's throats, trying to force somebody, because when you force somebody to do it the way you think, you believe, that's called a cult. That's what that's called. It's called cults. You know, if you don't believe it like this, you're going to die. You're going to go to hell. That's called cult. There's no other name for it but cult. It's the same thing anywhere else. Chinese and them believe in Buddha. They don't believe in the Jesus. They don't believe in the Allah. They don't. They believe in Buddha. You know, so we have to understand that different cultures, the way they're grown, the way they're brought up, learns different things. And everybody's not into what we call the Holy Spirit. Everybody's not into that. I am. Look, because my spirit in my life has led me in many directions to God, you know. Now, the name of God is one thing. The name of the Holy Spirit is another, you know. But in different cultures, there are different beliefs, and they have their own names. And some don't even believe in the Spirit, even though we're all walking with the Spirit in us. So we can't live the fruits of the Spirit without understanding or understanding the godly side of this whole thing. We have to understand that there's a spiritual connection, you know. Now, I'm going to talk about principles. Principles: integrity, accountability, respect, empathy, continuous learning, resilience, compassion, truthfulness, fairness, courage, self-awareness, responsibility, humility, attribute, service, forgiveness, collaboration, loyalty, again, mindfulness, adaptability, discipline, same thing as self-control, wisdom, simplicity, and, you know, these things, it's called principles, you know, and they lead us into a way of morally doing things right. Just like the fruits of the Spirit, they're very much in common. So one is led by the Spirit, and the principles is a set of rules written for us to learn how to deal and converse and be respectful to one another without the Spirit. I'll give you some examples. Integrity, honesty, straightforwardness of conduct. Wow. Honesty. I mean integrity. And remember I said integrity, doing the right thing for the right reason without anybody knowing it. We know what's right. We know what's wrong. We know. We know. We know what's right. We know what's wrong. We know it. But we choose. And that when we choose, if it's the right thing, we do it without anybody knowing. Now, we've been doing things that was wrong without anybody knowing. We call them secrets. I don't want nobody to know because I don't want to get caught. But how about doing something right for the right reasons? How about doing that without anybody knowing about it? I don't have to boast myself. I told you that earlier with the fruits of the Spirit. How about accountability? Disclosing waste, fraud, and abuse. Being accountable to. If somebody told me that, Ron, you spoke to this person wrong, and I think you should apologize, I have to first find the accountability to even want to believe that I was wrong about something. But once I have love in me, once I do all these fruits of the Spirit, kindness, tenderness, once I told you I can listen, listening is a gift, and it grows as I grow spiritually. Once I can do that, and somebody told me that I can be accountable for my actions. Remember I said, no one can make me say anything, do anything. I'm responsible for my own actions. So I'm accountable. Okay, hey, I know I did this, and sometimes apologies is in the forefront, and sometimes just changing my behavior is in the forefront. Be accountable, Ron. I'm accountable for my actions, not for yours, but for mine. And I can admit it. That's disclosing the fraud. I can admit it. Respect. The active acknowledgement of the worth, dignity, and feelings of others, fostering trust, safety, and relationships. I'll read that again. The active acknowledgement of the worth, dignity, and feelings of others, fostering trust and safety in relationships. Wow. Respect. In anything we do, whether it's bad, in my experiences, in the streets, there was a certain respect we have to give in the streets. So if you did things that you knew that wasn't right, and you was among a group of people and everybody's doing those things, the first respect you give is to shut up. Don't snitch. Keep your mouth shut. The other respect is when somebody in the streets is doing something that we know isn't right, we give them homage. We pay homage to them. Respect them. But when we're doing things right, not wrong, we give everyone respect. And beyond the good day, beyond the yes ma'am, yes sir, beyond that, how about we just give people respect? Somebody's crying because they heard about something, or they're feeling negatively about something and they're crying. How about giving that person some respect?